The UCONN Huskies absolutely dismantled South Carolina today in the NCAA Women's National Championship game. What does this look like for South Carolina? Now, what does this championship for Paige Beckers look like for Caitlin Clark, a.k.a. White Jesus? I don't like the conversation I'm starting to see around this championship. We're going to talk about that. Dawn Staley, she played the victim card again. She's a victim. Monica McNutt smart to say had nothing smart to say this week. Hannah Hidalgo issues an apology. We're going to talk about it and much more right after the intro. Go!
Oh,
congrats on your retirement, D.
Thank you.
And congrats.
Now, unfortunately, reality is coming to me now.
They're doing so good, celebrating the Hall of Fame. It's awesome, awesome time.
I know, Dawn. I know. I'm sorry that it happened to you. What's up, W360 Nation? What's up, boys, girls, he, she, they, them, we, or whatever you choose to identify as? Welcome to the W360, your home for all things women's basketball. I'm your host, CJSoFoolish, and welcome to another episode. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday, W360 Nation. I know we're here a little later than normal. We're usually here on Fridays, but Friday was the Final Four. I was hosting the Final Four event, so I couldn't check in to work with you all that day on Friday. But we're here today, baby, and we have a lot to talk about. We have a lot to talk about. What's going on, Lisa G? What's up, Kelly? I see you in the comments, Lindy. What's going on, Sean Laka? And I see everyone else is coming in. Let me see. Did I put it on? I know I put it on Twitter. Did I send the link to Twitter? Everyone else is coming in. What's up, Cara? And Sade. What's going on, everybody? What's up, W360 Nation? Listen, if you are new here, thank you so much for coming back. Or actually, thank you for joining. Thank you for joining the W360. Talk with everyone amongst yourselves in the chat, okay? We are family here, W360 Nation. We love a good laugh, and we love to keep it real, okay? So if you're new here, welcome to the W360. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I can't thank you guys enough. Again, the W360, we have hit over 6,000 subscribers. Okay, the W360 has hit 6,000 subscribers. I am excited. The word is getting out there. The word is getting out there, and I'm so excited. What's up, Pete P? What's going on, Pete P? Thank you, Peggy. Thank you so much for the super chat. W360, we are growing. We're growing, and the word is getting out there, so I really, really, really appreciate it. I really appreciate each and every one of us a part of W360 Nation. Thank you for the super chat. The 6'8" Aquarius says, Caitlin's haters pray for Paige to win this game so they can hold it over Caitlin's head that she doesn't have one. The Slows hate CC. So I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that because we're going to go ahead and get right into today's episode. Okay, because the Slows, they're slowing. They're slowing. Let's see here. Where are we starting today? All right, so congratulations. Congratulations to UCONN. They are now your 2025 national champions. Okay, congratulations to them. Thank you to, and I'm not being a hater. I'm not being a hater, but I think UConn women's basketball team, you guys should be giving Sarah Strong a steak. You girls aren't old enough to drink yet, so you can't have yourself a drink. But Sarah Strong, you did good. You go and get yourself a steak. AZ Fudd, you go and get yourself a steak. Paige Beckers, congratulations. Congratulations on your national championship. You know, but I'm just being honest. I can't sit here and pretend that I was impressed with Paige Beckers. I can't pretend. I'm not a pretender. You guys know me. You guys know I don't pretend. Paige Beckers was very average. She was very average. So to the slows that want to use this win for Paige Beckers, because the conversation is already starting, Paige Beckers has one up on Caitlin Clark. Paige Beckers versus Caitlin Clark. Shut your pie hole. You shut your pie hole right now. Paige Beckers and Caitlin Clark, they're two different women. They're two different young ladies. They're not in the same lane. They're not on the same street. They're not on the same page. They're not even in the same book. Paige Beckers was carried to her championship. White Jesus carried her team. Those two are not the same. Not. So all of the slows who the WNBA draft isn't even here yet, and you can't wait to try to say Paige is the new Caitlin. Paige is going to do this. Paige is going to do that. She wasn't even the best on her college team. She's the third best, maybe fourth. Unimpressed. Shut your pie hole, slows. What are we talking about? You have a better chance of mentioning AZ Fudd. And even then, that's still not a conversation. But Caitlin Clark and Paige Beckers, this isn't a conversation. This isn't a conversation you're going to have. It's not. Now, we're just going to keep it a buck. All of you shut your pie holes. Okay? White Jesus is in a league of her own. Deal with that. You keep trying to replace White Jesus, and it's just egg in your face. You tried to do it with Juju and seriously. Now let that young lady walk into her national championship in peace. Don't set her up for failure. Look what you guys did to Angel Reese. Don't set her up for failure. Paige is going to have the WNBA rookie season that everyone thought Caitlin was going to have. That's what's going to happen. Now you mark my word. Paige is going to have the WNBA rookie season that Gino said that Caitlin was going to have. That's it. She's going to be average. She's not going to do much. She's going to blend in. She's going to blend better than my makeup. She's going to blend. Nothing more, nothing less. It's going to just be meh. Seriously, you cut it out. But congrats to you, Paige. I just hope her fans don't set her up. Keep setting her up. You guys have to stop this madness. Every single time you guys try to set someone up against white Jesus, you drown. Pete P says, I don't know, CJ. I can see WNBA players parting the sea for Paige to prop her up. It's not only WNBA players, it's going to be WNBA media. Monica McNutt, smart to say. Jamel, jump off a hill. Shanae Ogwumake. L. Duncan. Andrea Carter. All of you. They can't wait. They are sitting at their computers right now, typing out their notes for their next shows or whatever it is they broadcast on. They can't wait. And it's going to blow up in your faces. It's going to blow up in your faces. Paige is going to really make you guys look dumb. Dumber than you looked last season. So congratulations to UConn. Congratulations. They said that they were the underdogs. I think Gino Ariema said something along the lines of, he was an underdog coming into the season. He didn't think they would win. Gino, cut it out. You're UConn. You guys were going to figure it out. Speaking of underdogs, I am tired of this whole underdog narrative. Everybody can't be an underdog. South Carolina said they were underdogs this season, even though they were number one. I'm going to get to Dawn next. UConn saying they're underdogs. Texas was underdogs. Texas, you guys weren't just underdogs. You guys just absolutely stunk. Everybody wanted to be an underdog and a victim this season, and we weren't supposed to be here, and we aren't supposed to be here. You're one of the top 5 teams in the country. You're all mid, but you're still one of the top 5 teams in the country. Seriously. But nonetheless, exciting game. It was a good game. I guess it was the best game you were going to get. These look like the top 2 teams in the country. They look like the top 2 teams in the country, But it was an exciting game. A lot better than that stinky Final Four. That Final Four stunk. Texas was stinky. UCLA was stinky. Didn't show up to play. I don't know what Janiah Barker was doing. Betts should hit the transfer portal just for those performances from her teammates. Lauren Betts should just hit the transfer portal. But that Final Four was stinky. Funky. Stink. So the national championship game gave a much more exciting visual for the viewers. And congratulations to Paige Beckers. Good luck in the W. Now, speaking of this national championship game, as you all know, there's a lot of pregame media that's done before the big game. The players are talking to the media. The coaches are talking to the media. Dawn Staley being one of the coaches that, spoke to the media. Dawn Staley never ceased to amaze me. Never ceased to amaze me. Amazing coach. Great coach, by the way. I question what she do with Malaysia Fulwali. But, you can't deny her greatness as a coach. But Dawn Staley loves to find ways to victimize herself. She loves to find ways to make her team the victim. She plays this victim game with the media, and to be quite honest with you, it is annoying. It is annoying, Dawn. And I want to root for you. I want to root for you, Dawn. I try, but I can't root for a victim. I can't root for a complainer. And just, quite frankly, you're just full of shit. Let's take a listen at what Dawn had to say in the pregame press. Where is Dawn? Here she is.
And she'll be the #1 pick in the WNBA draft, and she'll be an Olympian. She will be all of those things, right? But when you put a narrative out there, everybody sees that, and it puts us at a disadvantage, whether you want to believe so or not. You know, officials see it. You know, it's all over TikTok. It's all over SportsCenter. It's all over all of that. And she's a great player, but just because you're a great player doesn't mean you need to win a national championship to legitimize it. Paige is legit. She was legit from the moment she stepped, you know, on this stage or prior to in Minnesota. You know, her career is legendary. She will leave a legacy at UCONN, whether she wins one or not. So I just want to put that out there. Like I can't not address it because it's happening. Like it happened to us last year. You know, everything was about Caitlin Clark and her legacy and her ability to win a national championship. Yet we were coming to this thing undefeated, doing something that's unprecedented at the time, because it's hard. I mean, it's hard. And then we find ourselves back here in a similar situation. So, you know, I want the sentiments to be about our players and what our players been able to do equally, because there's room to do both. Okay, we can raise Paige up because she deserves that. We can raise our players up because they deserve that. And that's not talked about enough. There's room for our game. Like it's for Jose. There's room for our game for all of us to be covered. Let's not choose a history, one's history over another program's history. Let's not choose one player over another player's history, because we're all creating history for our game.
Let me pull Dawn up here because I thought I put her in my deck. So ESPN Women's Hoops tweeted, and they said, what's the headline? Dawn Staley says narrative around Paige Beckers and her quest to win a title has overshadowed South Carolina's feats. That's what so Dawn Staley retweeted the article and said, lies. That's not what I said. We just watched the clip, Dawn. We just watched the clip. Do you not remember what you said? That's exactly what you are saying. That's what you're saying, Dawn. The headline didn't say that you said that word for word. No. But everyone knows how to put two and two together. That's what you were saying. The media, and let's really keep it funky as far as what you're saying. You're saying the media chooses the white players to center their broadcast around when it comes to women's basketball, so that way it overshadows your black team. That's all you're doing. You're spinning this into a race narrative before the game because you knew you all were going to get your butts whooped. You knew you were going to get your butts whooped, right? So you want to push that narrative as far as the officials see TikTok. What officials are on TikTok? The officials see the coverage around Paige Beckers, so they're going to call the game UConn's way because the media wants Paige Beckers to get a championship. That's what you're saying, Dawn. Any intellectual person can put together that exactly what you're saying. You're victimizing your team. What do you mean South Carolina was put at a disadvantage because of the coverage around Paige Beckers? No, they weren't. You put your team at a disadvantage yourself. You did that all by yourself because you won't start Malaysia for Wiley and you kill her confidence. your team at a disadvantage. The media had nothing to do with that. You did that, Dawn. Malaysia Fulwale folded today because she should have been starting. She should have been starting. So she could have been ready and met the moment in a big game like this, and she could have started the game instead of coming off the bench and having this weight on her shoulder as if she has to save the game. Now she has to save South Carolina and pull them out of the hole all by herself because she's the player off the bench that has to save your team. You did that, Dawn, and I hope Malaysia Fulwale runs to the transfer portal quicker than Noah Lyles to a finish line. I do. You did that, Dawn. Now I see where A'ja Wilson gets it from. Now you see where A'ja Wilson gets this from. She was taught this mentality in college. She was taught this stuff. Because you're insinuating that the media don't talk about your team, but every single time you mention women's basketball, we hear about South Carolina. Now, it isn't the media's fault that you don't have an outstanding player for that squad of yours, on that squad of yours for the media to talk about, because you won't get from in front of the camera. And your most exciting player, you won't start. So what is it? We can talk about Joyce Edwards, fine. Raven Johnson is a solid point guard, fine. But that's not how media works, baby. We talk about the exciting players. You won't start your exciting player, the only one that can give us a highlight to show. You think we want to showcase Joyce Edwards making layups all day? This is where A'ja Wilson gets it from because she thinks that she should be highlighted making layups all day. She thinks she's not talked about enough. The same thing that you're saying, Dawn. You're not a victim, Dawn. Your team was the #1 team in the country most of the season. You played on TV 2 times every week. Most of your games were on national TV. How are people not talking about your team? They talk about your team. You don't have a star player because you decide that's your system. It's your system. It's the system. Put the team before a player. It's your system, Malaysia. Put the team before a player. So they mention your team and they move on. Your team is boring. That's just what it is. Your team is boring. Paige Beckers has a little off to her game. You know, she still rides the coattail from White Jesus. So, you know, there's a little bit to talk about there. Just a little. Not a lot. Let's be clear. Just a little. But there's nothing to talk about from your team. Your squad is a bit boring. That's why they talk about you and your outfits and Plies, the rapper. Seriously. You have a rapper who's fall off. He's the voice for your team. Plies, who's from Florida, that roots for South Carolina. That squad is a mess. What else did Dawn have to say? Did I put something else in? Here's Dawn again. Let me take you off here.
The greatness of this senior class is not talked about enough nationally, like other narratives are created for a player here, a player there, or a program here, or a program there. What this senior class, our senior class, has been able to do, no other senior class compares to what they've been able to do over this span of time.
So, This is Dawn again, basically saying that her squad doesn't get talked about enough. Dawn, what TV are you watching? What are you talking about? You guys are on all types of magazine covers. They talk about you on First Take because they're forced to. You were ranked number 1. What are you talking about? Shut your pie hole. And I mean that respectfully because, again, you can't deny, you as a coach, I think you fumbled your best player. But you can't deny your accolades and you as a coach. But my goodness, you sound unsmart here. We can't have you putting up more Asia Wilsons. You guys had an Under Armour commercial that victimized you in that, all the chatter. We have to play through all the chatter and the talking. It's sports. It's sports. It's sports. Yes, people chatter. People say that you're going to lose this year for your 4th championship in a row. You might lose. People say that. It's sports. It's okay. It's okay. You guys will be fine. It's okay. It's okay. Now, I will say, mind you, Dawn Staley is in every Geico commercial. I almost canceled my insurance. I was tired of saying it. So again, maybe that coverage that you're looking for your players, maybe you say, hey, put my players in this commercial, not me. Why don't you try that? She's P. Diddy. P. Diddy, all in the videos, all in front of the camera, all in the camera. You got to take the good with the bad. You got to take the good with the bad, but this is funny. I know. I damn it. I know. I'd have hit my head like that too if I had my laser foot Wally sitting on my bench. I would too. Dawn Staley is annoying. Dawn Staley can be very, very annoying. Annoying. And I said it before and I'm saying it again because we're getting ready to go into the WNBA season now. I'm just waiting on for Asia, who has a shoe, Olympic team, MVP. They're going to run her name into the ground. They're going to tell you she's the best player on the planet. And Asia is going to repeat this same type of narrative. The same type of narrative. I'm not talked about enough. When you mention women's basketball, it makes my blood boil. No one is mentioning me. She's going to do this same thing. And I'm going to be right here to call it out. No. Yes, you are. You're talked about. See, you're on this cover. See, you have your shoe. You have your shoe. Aren't you happy? You have your shoe. Seriously. Kelly says main character syndrome. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. Someone said, P. Diddy, I'm weak. Yeah, you want to root for her. You want to root for Dawn. You want to. I want to root for you, Dawn, and all your necklaces and stuff. I want to root for you. But I can't root for a victim. No. My goodness. Moving along. Good luck to you, Don, in the off season. You have plenty of money. You'll be fine. Take a vacation. You'll go get 4 more Americans from the portal. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. It's okay. Um, but boy, if Malaysia full Wally transfers, that'll be something. But she has those players brainwashed. She has those players brainwashed, and their parents. They're all brainwashed. They're bought in. I won't say brainwashed. They're bought in to her. So, you know, we'll see. Moving right along. Moving right along. Sade says that all your necklaces and stuff. Because why does she have on all those beads? It's distracting. Seriously. All right. Also on the college note, because the season just ended today, so I just want to kind of wrap up with in the college era of things because this is over. We're heading into the WNBA, baby. We're heading into the WNBA season, and boy, what a ride this is about to be. Buckle up. Buckle up. Thank you for the super chat. Somebody said, the 6'8" Aquarius. Thank you for the super chat. The 6'8" Aquarius said, I'd rather watch The Exorcist in church than an Asia Wilson commercial. Ooh. 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 Oh. Oh. Not The Exorcist in church. W360 chat. Y'all are hilarious. Shit is ooh, 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 ooh. All right, moving along. Moving along. Thank you for that 6'8", 6'8" Aquarius. Aquarius, y'all are dangerous people. Thank you, though. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Moving along. Notre Dame's guard, Hannah Hidalgo, had a shaky end of the season. Basically put out a note addressing, her fans and Notre Dame and the controversy around her. Before we get into this, guys, please like the video. If you're here, like the video, share the video. Please like the video if you have not liked the video so YouTube can push this video in the algorithm, okay? Please like this video. Please like this video. Please like this video. Okay? If you have not, it's free. It takes 1 second. Like the video, okay? I would really appreciate it. Hannah Hidalgo has a black cloud over her because maybe about a year ago, I think it was this time last year or it was before the season last year. I'm not exactly sure because I didn't care when she did it. She reposted a Candace Owens video, I think. If you don't know Candace Owens, I don't know what to say. Candace Owens is a commentator, a political commentator, who's very heavy on her, Christian values and beliefs. I find her to be brilliant, by the way. Love her. So Candace Owens posted something, I think, along the lines of, how she was against homosexuality, and Hannah Hidalgo reposted it. Hannah Hidalgo has been getting backlash, I said black lives, backlash from basically the WNBA community because she simply said that she don't align with homosexuality. When I saw this, when she reposted it, I said, "Ooh, she probably shouldn't have reposted that." But this is a kid. What is she, 18? This is a kid. So of course she doesn't understand the significance of her influence and the things that she posts on social media. But of course the slows who are 30 plus and WNBA media and things like that, they call her homophobic and you can't root for Hannah Hidalgo and Notre Dame because Hannah is homophobic. A kid, 18 years old, homophobic, and she's this and she's that, and don't root for her. She's hateful. She's spreading hate speech and things like that. So thank God she has finally addressed the slows. Finally, this kid had to come out. She put out a statement. Actually, it seems like it was like an article, if I'm not mistaken. But she says, when you're 19 years old and trying to figure your life out and you start to get buzz on social media, when you suddenly have a platform, it can be really overwhelming. It's a learning process. Among other things, you have to be intentional about what you post, which goes double if it's somebody else you're amplifying as opposed to something that comes from your heart that reflects your character and authentic self. You know the post I'm talking about. Now, feeling misinterpreted is one thing. I've always been very private, and learning how to navigate the media in public as a young person is just plain hard. But realizing that I had this new responsibility and I'd let people down, given the wrong impression, maybe even hurt people I care about, that got me spiraling. I grew a lot from the conversations I had coming off that mistake, especially with friends I was afraid I'd hurt. Instead, I was relieved and felt embraced and safe. I am not homophobic. I love all people and believe that we all deserve to exist authentically. But I understand now how that narrative developed. I should have been more public about how much I value everyone's humanity and how what makes us unique as individuals can be what powers a great team. The slows are still upset because they're slow. They're slow. They eat Jello. They eat Jello and Starburst for breakfast, right? Jello and Starburst for breakfast. So they're still upset. They're still attacking this young lady online. Even after she said, listen, I'm not homophobic. I shouldn't have posted that. It's fine. To this young lady, I like Hannah Hidalgo. I really root for her. I like her because she's a tremendous basketball player. I don't care if she agree with homophobia or gayness or the gays or not. I don't care. I don't care. I think she's a tremendous basketball player. Seems like a great kid, And if this was my kid or my sister, I would tell her, don't ever address the slows, ever. Don't ever address the slows. Let them think what they want. Let them think what they want. You know how many people call me homophobic? They call me transphobic. They call me everything. They send me all this type of stuff. Do you think I give one flying? I don't care. You don't know me in real life. You don't know. But since she did have to address the slows, and, of course she has to consider. I just saw Lisa G comment. Lisa G said, who cares? Lisa G said, who cares? Right? But I'm explaining this because I just wish that these kids would take on the mentality and join this message that we're pushing. The slows do not matter. They don't matter in the grand scheme of things, Hannah. Now, if you're watching or one of your family members are watching, don't ever address them again. Don't ever address them again. Let them think what they want. They don't know what they're thinking. They don't know what they're thinking. They wear shoes that don't have shoelaces because they probably can't tie their shoes. They're slow. They're slow. That's all. It's okay. Let them think what they want. People know what you meant. And let's say this. Let's say this. Even if you are against homosexuality, maybe if you don't agree with it, who cares? She doesn't have to. She doesn't have to. It's okay. It's okay. I have a friend in real life. I don't agree with her gambling problem. I don't agree with the fact that she gambles, but we're still friends. I tell her, if you lose money, don't ever ask me for any money. I told you to stop going to that casino, but it's okay. People can agree and disagree on things as long as you're not hurting anybody. But she's a kid. She's not going to get that. She's not going to get that. So I say that to say, Hannah Hidalgo finally addressed the negative attention around her or the negative messaging around her, and I'm glad she addressed it. Thank you, Mellow Yellow, for the super chat. They call her homophobic, but they are godophobic. So, yes, we got to get those slows. They can't have this much power where you just keep ignoring them. And that is what we're pushing this WNBA season. Just ignore the slows. Just keep ignoring them. You don't have to respond to them. You ignore them how you ignore the homeless man on the side of the road. When you stop at a red light and they're looking you dead in your car and you're just looking ahead because you don't want to make eye contact, so you just got to ignore them. Even if they start dancing and stuff and have their sign and they start trying to get your attention and you just ignore them, they're right here to your left, but you just look at that light. And you look at that light, and then you probably try to check your phone, but you just ignore it. That's how you ignore the slows. I like this kid. I really do. I like this kid. And, I hope she figures it out. I hope she gets in the film room because she took a lot of bad shots in this tournament. She took a lot of bad shots. Her decision making on the court needs some work. She needs to use her team more. But I like this kid and I root for her. I do. I root for her. and I'll be rooting for her next season. I hope she puts the work in the off season to improve her decision making and definitely getting better going to the basket as well. Seth said use the sun visor. All right, moving right along. Fly J. Johnson has said no to the WNBA. I don't want to join that. I don't want to join it yet. I'm going to stay in college another year. Good for her. Good for you, Fly J. That was smart. Of course, there's more money. There's more money for you in college. There's no point in going to the WNBA right now. Wait on the new CBA. Wait on that so that you can get the money that you deserve, that, you earn, instead of getting wrapped into that pool of the WNBA mess. Stay in college another year. You're making millions. Why not use another year to get better? Now, the big question is if she's going to stay at LSU. I think she might as well. Why not? Build your legacy there. Stay loyal to your fan base. That's where your fans, those fans, LSU fans, built that name. You built the name. I take the bet. I'm sorry. You built the name, but they embrace you. They love you. So, stay at LSU. Stay under Kim Mulkey, baby. You two are one and the same. So I wasn't shocked to hear that Fly J decided to stay in college. Absolutely. AZ Fudd and Olivia Miles also decided to stay in college. Ladies, if you can stay in college this last year, do so. It's fine. You'll be fine. When you get to the WNBA, you're going to still get your deals and you're going to get a bigger contract. Dejanay Carrington just got a Reebok deal. Dejanay Carrington just got a Reebok deal. How is Dejanay Carrington getting deals? For what? She's not that famous. She's not that famous. She's known for beating up white Jesus. That's what her claim to fame is. She's known for beating up white Jesus. So I say that to say, kids in college, you'll be fine when you get to the WNBA. They're giving out deals. They're giving out endorsements. Dejanay Carrington just got one. You'll be fine. Your fans will follow you. Stay in college as long as you can. Stay as long as you can. You'll be okay. You'll be okay. Olivia Miles, as I said, is staying in college. AZ Fudd, she decided to stay in college as well. This goddamn chat. Kara in the chat says her shoe. Dejanay. Kara in the chat says her shoe has hidden nails built in the heel. Not track spikes. All right. Oh my goodness. Y'all are crazy. All right. The slow of the week. The slow of the week. All right. If you don't know, or if you're new here, or if you haven't watched in a while, guys, this is a segment that I will be doing each week. Because again, like I said, we have to continue to push this narrative that we have to push the slows back in their closets, right? Get out the way. They have to go back in their closets. Go back to their facilities. Go back to their facilities. You guys, your voice has been too loud and it's just honestly annoying the shit out of me. So we're going to point you out and we're going to shame you. We're bringing public shaming back. We're going to shame you. We're going to shame you, and we're going to point you out for being the slow that you are. So there's a slow of the week. And it goes this week to none other than this young lady right here. Right here. Monica McNothing Smart to Say. Monica McNothing Smart to Say. You, my dear, are the slow of the week. You're the slow of the week, Monica McNutt, Smart to Say. Congratulations to you. Congratulations to you. So if you don't know, earlier this week, Monica McNutt, Smart to Say, I think this was a podcast that she was on. And Monica is an ESPN broadcaster. If you don't know her, she covers the NBA and the WNBA. Gives a lot of Ryan Clark type vibes. You just can't watch sports. You just can't help yourself. You can't help yourself because you just don't have clear thoughts. You don't have anything to stand on when it comes to sports. And you're racist. You're racist. That's all. That's it. That's just what it comes down to. You're just racist. You're a racist broadcaster. And you don't mind showcasing it, but you try to hide it around all this fluff talk and, this victimhood and this victim mentality. You try to hide it, but at the end of the day, you're just racist. You're being racist and you are racist. Monica McNutt, Smart to Say, was on a podcast earlier this week, and this is what she had to say. Let's take a listen and a look.
Two things. I think it has to show up in our storytelling, and it has to be encouraged by our families.
Yeah.
To me, right? And so covering the WNBA this past season, Caitlin Clark's rookie year, for all of the conversation that surrounded her, some which was fair and some which wasn't, the one thing that I cannot deny is the amount of little girls that were showing up to follow her, little girls with their parents, and the fervor and the energy there.
Why her?
Same thing.
Why her?
Well, I was just about to say same thing for Angel Reese when I had a chance to cover their games. But I think Caitlin represented, and again, some of this to me probably is not fair to her because it was not anything that she said or was truly based on her personality, but she was a white girl from the middle of America. And so she represented a whole lot to a lot of people, whether that is truly what she prescribed to or not. We can all say she is a dynamic basketball player and a force both on the court and the marketing sense. But I do think, same thing with folks that may have fallen in love with Angel Reese that she may or may not have agreed with everything they had to say either. We attach our fandom to these icons for all types of reasons, and sometimes they may not be based in all truth.
Monica McNutt, Smart to Say, you absolutely most of the time have nothing smart to say when I watch you. Every single time I watch you, you have nothing smart to say. That was dumb. That was dumb. The fact that you did it wasn't until later in your statement that you said, we can't deny she's a dynamic player. No, that's what you lead with. That's what you lead with, Monica McNutt, Smart to Say. White Jesus, Caitlin Clark, has the impact and the fans that she has because she's good at basketball. That's why she's exciting to watch play. She's exciting. She's positive. She's not angry. She's not victimizing herself. She's actually a minority in this league, if you really want to keep it real. She's playing in a predominantly black league, but she never points that out. She never points that out. She just hoops. People like her. She has that office style of comedy. She has dry humor. She's cool. You can tell she hangs with the guys. She hangs out with her boyfriend. She hangs out with football players. So what? But have you ever been to a game in real life? You do know that White Jesus has black fans. What do you think? What do you think? Just she only has white fans? She has black fans as well, too. Monica McNutt smart to say. She has black fans, too. You don't think so? Let me show you. Monica McNutt smart to say. Look at this guy. Look, Monica McNutt smart to say. Look at this girl's dad. Look at this girl. What color do they look like to you, Monica McNutt smart to say? They're black. They're black. So it has nothing to do with her being a white girl from middle America, because if that's the case, why does Paige Beckers have the same motion? Sabrina Ionescu. You know, there are other white players in the WNBA. Sabrina Ionescu. Brianna Stewart. Who else is white? Elena Delle Donne just retired, and I'm just naming them. Sue Bird. Diana Taurasi, who they call the best player in the league. And she is one of the best, the GOAT, the icons. So what's their reason for not having that many fans? Since it comes down to black and white, what's their reason? They're white. What's their reason? She has the juice. That's it. She's fun to watch. She's relatable. That's it, Monica. It doesn't have anything to do with her being black. I know, because you're racist. You're racist. I know that that's what you think it is. It's just because she's white. No, it's because she's better than every single guard that you try to push through the media on this new fan base. That's what it is. It's because she's better than Dejanay Carrington. She's better than pretty much every guard in the league. She's the best player in the league. She's the face of the WNBA. Monica McNutt smart to say. Deal with it. Deal with it. Now, I'm tired of all your hooting and hollering. And if this is what you're going to bring to the WNBA season this season, you need to get out of my town right now. I'm tired of it. I want you to shut your pie hole. You shut your pie hole right now. This is dumb. Don't start pushing this narrative. And you're going to anyway, but guess what? There's new media out here who's going to counteract everything you have to say. We're going to get in front of our cameras just like I'm sitting here right now and talking to our platforms and your platform as well, and we're going to tell them you are slow. So congratulations to you, Monica McNutt smart to say. You are the slow of the week. Reach out to me, girl. I'll send you a shirt. Peggy says, I thought Ben Daniels was going to pop a brain cell. I'm going to catch up on Ben Daniels' content. I usually do, like, after I do my live. What did he say? I cannot wait to see what Ben Daniels had to say about this. I'm sure he covered it. I can't wait to see what he had to say. If you're saying he was going to pop a brain cell, I know he went in, and I know it was probably hilarious, and I can't wait to watch it. I can't wait to watch it. Seriously. W360 Nation, that is going to wrap up this episode for this week, okay? Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday, okay? I hope that you can spend the rest of your evening relaxing, getting ready for next week, and make sure you when you clean your home. If you follow me on Twitter, I tweeted about this. Clean your microwave. And when you clean your microwave, you have to get the top. You have to get the ceiling where the food pops up at. Get that. There is nothing worse than a dirty microwave. Until next episode. Peace and so grease. Yay! Yes, Peggy, I am.